Good catch.
Cool.
Well done. All right. So a guy died at a $3 million swingers sex mansion dubbed Kinky Towers.
Nice.
So, which is just going to be awkward for everyone involved. The mansion owners, your family. Like even if you just had a heart attack or whatever, or just regular death, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess once you're dead, who cares? But like if your kids found out, or imagine going to school and being like, oh yeah, my dad died because he was chained to the wall and he had a heart attack as he jacked off. His mistress jacked him off.
He went to Kinky Towers like he did every Thursday night, but this time he didn't come back. Just went too far. Imagine the call to the emergency services. Hi, this is Dave from Kinky Towers. From what?
Well,
Kinky Towers.
That was a little bit of a Freudian slip there. Dave from Kinky Towers.
Oh yeah. Listen. You got to do what you got to do. All right. So, I mean, I guess that's the nightmare scenario if you run a swingers club.
Having people die.
Is that somebody will have a heart attack and die? I mean,
I would think that the nightmare scenario would be running out of lube, but okay.
I mean, that's number 2 on the list, but that's just you can plan for that. You be careful not to run low on stock. But I don't let anyone come to my swingers parties unless they've had a full health checkup a week beforehand. So you got to have your cardio done and everything. So
a week beforehand, you got to do it within the day. I mean, listen, swingers parties are going to attract people that are likely to have done stuff frequently. Where
listen. Not everyone has time every day, but also we have an age limit of 37. So all those old swingers, I'm not even allowed in. That's how the age cap works.
I think that's the best way to do it, though. If it's your old place, you can set the rules, and therefore you be the only person who's over 50.
Just walk around and be like, "Hey, you're gonna have a heart attack. You look like you're having a fucking. Just take a time out. Take a 5 minute there."
Well, that wouldn't have worked in this case anyway, because this guy was in his 20s and died of unexplained reasons. And apparently he fell into the water and became limp-bodied. So probably one of the most awkward ways to get limp at a swingers party.
Yeah,
imagine explaining that to the police. Like, oh yeah, his body went limp. It's like, come on, dude. Do you have to joke at this point? Like...
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Weirder, the guy who died is in his 20s, but the home is owned by Richard Stanley, 74, a retired management consultant, and his partner, Janet Harrison, who have both appeared on a Channel 4 documentary, but they're in their 70s, or at least the guy is.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I wish does it say how many, like, was it a packed party? Was it like you pay to go to the party? What was going on?
It says tickets to attend with double bedroom access are believed to have been selling for between £500 and £1,000.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like a popular spot for the swingers.
Well, someone else died 7 years ago there.
Oh, come on. Just
from the water dubious. Again at a James Bond themed sex party.
Mm-hmm. Sounding a little bit suspicious now.
Yeah.
So, okay.
But that was ruled an accident. So.
All right. So like what kind of water? Like they fell in a swimming pool or something, or?
Well, yeah, even the idea of calling it, well, if it's water, it can't be a swimming pool because you would think you would say swimming pool. It must be like a pond or something. It's like a puddle.
All right, yeah.
2 people die in a puddle 7 years apart at a sex party.
Oh, man, that's... Yeah, geez. I mean, look, 20-year-olds now, you're going to have more stringent tests before you come to swingers parties. That's for sure.
Maybe that's the problem. They're too young. They get too excited and they just fall in the water and die.
Body just goes, no, I'm out. See you later.
It'd be amazing if the guy said, "Oh, well, his body was there. Penis, not so much. That was still hard. That was fully erect."
He's still flagpoling it, but the rest of his body, no.
Imagine giving CPR with a guy who's got full erection.
Oh man, yeah. Could somebody put a towel on him or something? Come on.
But even with the towel, it would be very clear. The hardest part I would have with
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say the hardest part I would have with all this is like if people come to my house and like there's so much as eating and a crumb drops on the couch, I get worried. I could not imagine having people having wild swingers sex all over my house and not being freaking out about just stains and
stains is one of the problems. Yeah. All kinds of issues come up in that scenario. Yeah, for sure.
Is it the right kind of stains? Then great. But the wrong kind of stains.
Just when people come in with like, here's your lube, here's everything else you need, here's your cleaning products, fucking clean up after yourself. If you leave a mark, you're not coming back.
It'll be on the new house tours. There's where Debbie squirted and left a mark on the wall.
She came back next week and she hit higher on the wall. So
now you look over there, that is a jizz stain on the wall that I've been trying to clean for weeks. Which also reminds me of a time where I stayed at a really dodgy hotel it was really cheap, but and that was why I was staying there for the night. But there were really weird white stains on the curtains that seriously looked like someone had like gone out of their way to try to aim for the curtains. Yeah. We've all stayed in those places. You're like, why didn't I go for the extra $20? Yes. We've all looked at the stains and gone, I can do better than that. And then failed.
That's an amateur height you hit there, pal. I'll show you. Oh yeah. That's but anyway, hopefully the guy, wherever he may have gone to in the afterlife, doesn't have to explain how he died. So how'd you die? Well, it's at a swingers party at Kinky Towers.
Good luck to his parents and the awkward funeral.
Yeah. His wife and girlfriend are going to have to like figure it out. And, how'd your boyfriend die? Well, he was at a swingers party.
Yeah. He was at Kinky Towers,
But that's it. If he does have like a girlfriend or a partner or whoever, they are now outed as swingers. And that's hilarious.
If they knew about it and were there, maybe they weren't.
People will just assume. I assume that they're swingers now. I'm going to send them, some information, new clubs they can join.
All right. Well, is it illegal to have sex on a plane? And that's not even just me asking. This is actually the headline of this article.
Oh.
Travel experts answer biggest holiday questions. Which I'm sure most people that they put that at the top of their holiday questions, but
yeah, it's number one. I don't think it's illegal. It's just not. I would assume it's just not encouraged.
It says, well, due to the nature of air travel, it's all down to the laws of the country to which the plane is registered. In the UK, it's illegal to have sex in a bathroom or toilet, which the public has access.
Okay. So as long as you're not doing it in the toilet, you're fine. So you get somewhere else on the plane, like your seat, you're good.
Yeah. I feel as though just saying it's not illegal to have sex, that it is illegal to have sex in the toilet doesn't cover all bases.
No, there's other places. There's like the kitchen.
And if it's about privacy, right? So therefore, if you travel in like a fancy suite where the airline people can see you, but you're supposed to have some privacy. Like, where's the line?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean,
Look, I think that sends a message that viewers should sponsor us to fly in the Emirates suite so that we can both also pay for us to hire people to join us there. Both to join us in the suite, but also to review what the flight attendants do whilst we're there and see what happens.
All in, we're going to need 6 first class tickets or suites tickets.
Not just first class. It has to be one of the fancier first class.
Yeah,
ones that have the suites.
The apartment, I think, is
first class is for the average scum. We are esteemed gentlemen. We need the suites.
Yeah, we bring our own toilets like the prince.
Yeah. Now, this article really goes into weird spots because the next question is quite the jump. It says, is it safe to drink a coffee on a plane? Which at the end of the day, who gives a shit? But then it goes into, can airport scanners see tampons? Now, you've always been concerned with this yourself.
Yeah. I'd presume they can. So just, that's just my theory. So if you got a tampon up there, they can see it. I presume.
Well, it says that they don't show an anatomically correct image. This means the operator of the scanner wouldn't be able to see an item such as a tampon, which doesn't make sense because they do apparently see, like with the fancy ones, they do see tissues in your pocket. So
yeah. So that's bullshit.
Yeah.
They definitely see them. They're just saying that so that people won't get freaked out.
So that I won't feel insecure when I walk through with my butt plug next time.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. Why is there a tail hanging out of you?
Look, we all have our life choices. So you deal with yours.
I mean, and then they go into really weird questions such as, does mustard help sunburns? Which I've never heard anyone talk about, but apparently people worry about it.
I've never heard of that being a thing either. So yeah, I don't know.
And it says it's inconclusive.
So no, it's not inconclusive. It means no. You were just coming with this idea, Mr. Journalist, and it failed. So
it says that the next question is, why does food taste better on holiday?
Because you're shit at cooking food, perhaps, or something like that.
Well, it says that you're influenced by what's going on around you, and apparently it actually does.
All right. Well, I mean, I've had good and food while I was away. So, I want this person to explain why the food was bad in a good place. So, but yeah, I guess that's probably, I guess like people's perceptions when they're on holidays is everything's great. Like, especially when they look back on it, they don't seem to remember the stuff that was shitty or less than perfect.
Yeah. Apparently there's a related article that flight attendants actually do stare at you.
Thought so.
And they're looking for ABPs, able-bodied passengers, and they're looking for people that speak in the language of the airline that operates in with an able body so that they can help in an emergency.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah. I mean, I've heard that when you're boarding, they're checking out who is drunk and stuff. And I mean, obviously who's sexy, who they're going to take
who has
to the bathroom.
the biggest butt plug in.
Yeah. All that kind of stuff. You're getting all the vital information.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that makes sense. You know, they're checking out who's, in the case of an emergency, who to run up to.
On.
Yeah. They're like, look, we got 3 minutes left. Do you want to fuck? All right.
Yeah, they're looking for the right person to procreate with in the event of an emergency.
Yeah. We're going to go. So, you may as well go out fucking. So.
The oxygen masks have dropped, and we're going to use this oxygen to the maximum potential.
This is just another reason why I'm not allowed to work for an airline. By the way, yeah. It was a good 3 weeks.
I can't believe you lasted that long. Well, to pick on Ryanair again, everyone's favorite airline. Yay. Brit dad's Ryanair flight mishap sees him banged up abroad for 5 nights.
Ooh.
So why do you think he got arrested for 5 nights?
Well, if he got arrested, I'm presuming it was for doing something bad to a Ryanair plane or something.
Misusing the oxygen in the event of emergency?
Yeah, something like that.
So his romantic holiday plans were thrown into disarray after he was thrown into a cell in Croatia for boarding his flight using his stepdaughter's passport accidentally.
Oh.
I cannot believe they let this criminal thug out of jail.
I mean, yeah, what was he doing? How did he think that was gonna? How did he get that far? That's the thing.
Complete scumbag.
Yeah, using someone else's passport. Damn it. But like, when you check in, they scan your passport. So how do you get that far?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, you could do that if you're with your stepdaughter. She goes ahead, and then you're at airport control, and somehow she's gone through as a 57-year-old man, and you're there as a. They don't ask any questions on her, but she floats her way through, and then you're stuck with a stepdaughter who's had to give a blowjob to get through immigration, and then you're in jail. Not that happened here.
Wait a minute. Probably he was going on a romantic weekend or a romantic holiday with his stepdaughter. I've seen this video on Pornhub.
I like the ending. After 5 days when they get out and a very smelly blowjob. Where she constantly talks about the taste of a 5-day prison penis unwashed in Croatia. Hypothetically, that didn't happen here. However, when border guards stopped him after landing at Zagreb, David made the shocking discovery that he'd brought his 21-year-old stepdaughter's passport by mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Coincidentally, he'd had a 5-night holiday booked. So, yeah, he slammed Ryanair, who admit they incorrectly allowed him to board after he requested help from his cell, saying he hasn't heard from the airline since finally returning home on April 28.
You know what, dude? If you bring the wrong passport, that's on you, not on the airline. I don't care if they went through with it. They don't expect you to be an idiot. But
no, I mean this literally is on the airline because the airlines are meant to check your details before you board.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
This is like, what if the 9/11 hijackers took their stepdaughter's passports and they were banned from a flight, and then they get on a plane and hijack a plane, and then it was like, oh, well, he used his stepdaughter's thing. He would have been stopped and arrested when he got through, but the plane never made it to the destination.
I mean, yeah, there's a huge level of blame to the airline, but there's also a level of blame for the idiot who didn't bring his own passport. I feel, because he shouldn't. What would he have done? They would have said, "That's not your passport," and he would have been like, "Oh shit," and gone home. So he should have checked his details before he left. I've never gone to the airport with the wrong passport, and if I can do it, he can do it too. So
yeah, but you don't have a stepdaughter to confuse it with. So, you're kind of playing this game with a cheat code.
It's true.
It's like, I've never boarded a plane with a 97-year-old man's passport, but, I don't know any 97-year-old men except for one.
I've never boarded with anybody else's passport, and that's my thing there. But I mean, yeah, obviously massive fail by Ryanair, but at the same time, they don't charge enough to check your details properly. So if you ever want to just get on a plane with someone else's passport, probably go to Ryanair.
Yeah, they said they even blamed it on him. They said it's each passenger's responsibility to ensure they have the correct and valid passport for travel. And that they incorrectly allowed him to board, and we have liaised with our handling agents in Manchester to assure this does not happen again. Not that
someone got fired.
Well, no, I mean, they're literally just like, oh yeah, we're going to make sure that person doesn't do it again. But, you know, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Sorry. Fuck him.
I think that your Irish roots your pride in Ryanair is getting the best of you. It's not admit how ridiculous.
Listen, when you're flying with Ryanair, you don't expect them to have safety standards, quality control, passport control, none of that shit. Like you got your flight for 75 pence. All right, fucking sit down. You're lucky to get a fucking seat.
You're lucky to spend 5 days in jail.
Yeah, it could have been fucking 6. So yeah, but no, it's pretty bad. You know, it's just another entry into the Ryanair Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Now, this next story, I think you can relate to this because you've obviously mistaken a hair curler for a sex toy before, right?
Oh, only twice.
Well, a hair company has issued warnings that their phallic-shaped tools are not sex toys, and people shouldn't be mistaking them for that. And they're even advertising that they're for curling hair, not toes.
I mean, you know, if your curling iron looks like a sex toy, you might be in the wrong business. Your design people need to look at what industry they're working in.
Well, I think that we can combine this with going back to before. Like, if you're going to walk through the airport with something up your ass, you may as well use a hair curler and then just say, look, officer, I was curling my ass hair.
Where else are you supposed to put it? Look at it. It's for safe carriage.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's not a good, it's not a good product design if that's the case, to be honest.
Well, one person's review of it actually said that they actually had to speak to HR about having an inappropriate backdrop on their video calls because they had one of these sitting on their desk behind them.
Nice. That's why you got to use the blur out backdrop so people can't really tell what it is.
I don't know. If people see like a giant penis-shaped object.
But if it's blurred, they're just assuming, they don't know. So
yeah, but as they should assume it's a.
Be like, that's a candle, guys. Don't be rude.
Yeah,
it's a penis shaped candle.
Now I don't know if you heard about this story that kind of went around, but a sheep has been sentenced to 3 years in jail after being convicted of killing a woman.
Oh. Well, yeah, that's, you know, you got to watch those sheep, fucking bastards. So what did this one do?
In South Sudan, it attacked a woman who died of her injuries. The ram attacked her by hitting her ribs, and the old woman died immediately. So this is what happened. Our role as police is to provide safety and separate fights. The ram was apprehended and currently under custody at a police station.
Oh, well.
The owner is innocent and the ram is the one who perpetrated the crime, so it deserves to be arrested. Then later on, the case shall be forwarded to customary court where the case can be handled amicably.
I mean, you know, I feel like the sheep, the ram, whatever, there's no good prison facility for them. So...
Well, when it gets out of jail, the ram will be gifted to the family in accordance with local law.
Okay.
And both families have signed a contract to formalize the agreement with police and community leaders.
I feel like in this case, they could just go ahead and transfer the animal to the family rather than have it spend 3 years in a prison.
No, it needs to learn its lesson. And then...
You know what's going to happen? It's going to get out. It's going to go to the family and straight away it's going to fuck up someone else. It's going to be straight back into prison.
For 3 more years and then...
That's bizarre. I mean, yeah. I mean, animals in prison, that's a whole new concept. There you go. Sudan, you're way ahead of the game.
Yep. The next story is the most savage stag do moments.
Nice.
So one of them is says there's a reason why you shouldn't let your boats to stag parties. I now have had ABC come to the boat that hit me has been abandoned. So basically they somehow they managed to flood a boat, sinking a canal boat and flooding a nearby road. A group of hammered rugby players.
That sounds like they had a good time. You know, normally people, I don't do that. I don't flood boats and roads and shit like that. So yeah, what else did they get up to? Husband-to-be Jack Wilkins became an internet sensation after being stripped down to his underwear and taped to a pole in the middle of a road. Nice. At least they left him with his underwear. That's nice of them, you know.
Yeah, they could have taken it further. And when a stag party trio were forced to buy a car and drive a whopping 16 hours home. This is after realizing that he had left his passport in Edinburgh when he arrived in Krakow. But he was allowed into the country using a picture of his ID and waiver form, but then decided to buy a car with a couple of mates for around £250 to get it back home. And they drove 16 hours before boarding the ferry to Calais, using the driver's license to get back into the country.
All right. Well, that's bizarre. But yeah, I think with the whole Brexit thing in Britain, they have to have their passport now to travel from Europe to Britain again. But it used to be a case you just needed your driver's license and to travel in some modes. So if it was before Brexit, that's not really a big deal. If it's after it, then again, they should have stopped them. What they're doing, just letting anybody into.
Yeah, I'm disappointed they didn't spend 5 days in jail.
They got off so lightly.
The next one is actually pretty genius. So a £250,000 scratch card prank. So Ross Taylor was gutted after realizing his stag do pals had tricked him into thinking he'd won £250,000. He was dancing around excitedly after believing he'd hit the jackpot with a dodgy card, which his pals bought for £5 on eBay. In a video shot, he says, "Boys, can I just bring you all together?" Showing them the scratch card, he brags, "That's 250 grand, boys." One of his friends can be heard in disbelief, egging him on, saying, "Shut the F up." But he was told to turn it over, and the writing said all he had won was fresh air. Pretty genius.
It's pretty good prank right there. Yeah. Making him think he'd won the 250,000. I mean, in those moments, you know, I'm sure he'd had a few beers as well at that point.
No one ever drinks on the stag do.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought they might have had one or two.
No,
just
never.
Like non-alcoholics or
those are sober activities.
Okay. Well, interesting. Well, either way, pretty wild. And yeah, definitely going to do that in the future. So looking forward to it.
If anything I've learned from this article is that, and I skipped a bunch there, because most of them were boring. I feel like if you're going to do this and you want to actually do something, you really need to up the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No point half-assing it. Like, you're going to have to do something pretty epic.
Yeah, leave them out in the cold with no underwear on.
Yeah. Or like a tail.
Yeah. Well, moving on to our other favorite airline, Wizz Air, yet again making the news. A Wizz Air pilot rants, "I don't need this," in tannoy meltdown over delays at Gatwick. So the pilot had a meltdown, and he made an announcement after passengers asked to get off the plane during a delay at Gatwick. They were set to take off to go to Cyprus. It couldn't because of a delay. So the flight was delayed for 7 hours and all passengers were stuck in the plane.
Oh, Jesus.
7 hours on Wizz Air would not be fun.
No, and then you got to take off and go on the actual flight after. Fucking hell. That's like the worst thing.
Then the pilot made the announcement, "Show of hands, please. Who wants to get off?" He wasn't talking about getting off the plane. He was talking about, he wants to check out.
Me, please. I've always wanted to on a plane.
This is Wizz Air. If we all agree, this is going to be one wild orgy.
Yeah. That's, imagine... I don't know how long the flight from London to Cyprus is. I'm imagining it's like 3 hours or something. But to be stuck on the plane for 7 hours and then have to do a 3 hour flight or 4 hour flight, whatever it is.
4 hours and 45 minutes, but yeah.
Wow. So like, yeah, that's nearly 12 hours on the plane. Like you could get to LA in that time.
Even being a pilot, and you're like, I have to work 5 hours, say, because it's a 4 hour, 45 minute flight. So it's probably like 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
I actually now have to work an extra 7 hours, which is double my shift.
True. Yeah. And I'm not sure if it's for pilots, but I think for cabin crew, they don't get paid unless, like, maybe it's when the doors close. So maybe the doors were closed.
I think that stuff is depending on the airline or whatever. It depends where you are.
Guarantee Wizz Air are not paying.
I think Wizz Air are the highest standards of employment. I think Wizz Air treat their staff the highest quality. And this ungrateful pilot is being an asshole complaining because he's probably getting overtime and double pay.
Pilots are probably taken care of. Yeah. They probably need to look after the pilots so they don't come to work like drunk and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it could be one of those things where they fly, because a lot of these things, they do the return flight. So it could be they're flying there and then they fly back to that thing. So like he might have like a lover, mistress tied up at home, waiting for him to come back in a torturous position. And like 9 hours she can make, but an extra 7 hours and she may not even make it.
Let me tell you, you're walking into a world of pain if you're longer than you said you were going to be in that scenario. She's going to be angry. She's going to be like, it's not worth it. You just leave. Just leave work, go home.
Yeah. And that's probably why he said the next thing he said was, "We won't be going tonight if you get off. I don't need this. The crew doesn't need this. We are doing what we can to get you out of here. It's out of my control, completely out of my control. We're doing everything we can. If you want to get off, I'll let you get off. No problem."
Again, he needs to say the plane. Do you want to get off the plane? It's like, you all just need to have a wank. Go ahead. It calms you down.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be taking off shortly, but this is a stressful situation. So if you can have a wank, and we'll be getting underway shortly.
Has now turned on the wanking sign. So.
We'll be cruising at an altitude of 35,000 feet, and sperm doesn't do well at that feat. So please make sure I get one out before we take off.
That's why they call it Wizz Air.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got about 5 minutes to take off, so plenty of time for everyone to get 1 or 2 shots in. 3 for you in 37A. You'd be right up there, I reckon.
Don't be shy. Help your neighbor.
We might be dropping the oxygen masks if anyone needs a little bit of extra help. The cabin crew will now present the safety precautions, and there's seatbelts here if anyone needs to be tied up because they get off on that. So
careful of the auto asphyxiation. Just be careful. See, it turned into the best flight ever, just with a couple of changes in the wording. People were enjoying themselves, having a great time.
Yeah. And this is why we should be pilots. We can handle these situations better. You know, these real pilot posers out there, they're looking at all these buttons and sensors and all this crap. When all they need to do is calm everyone down with a quick wank. Yeah, you know, things change over time, and it's time to get away from the old methods and into our new methods. That's what we're suggesting. It'll be good. Be good for everybody. Yeah. Well, there's a story of. Now, I've heard legend of this and didn't actually realize that it was actually a real thing. But this came in the news for some reason. The man who posted himself from Australia to the UK. So instead of paying for a flight, he put himself in a box and sent himself because it was cheaper. So the headline reads, "Man who posted himself home from Australia in box took laxatives to stop pooing for days." Wait a minute. Man emerges from box of shit. Brian Robson posted himself in a crate from Australia back to the UK in 1960s and took a variety of odd steps to ensure his journey was comfortable, including dosing up on laxatives. Yeah, you know, he hadn't done his reading on that one, but there you go. No. So he must have done it, and they haven't worded this clearly, but he's done it beforehand, so he was very cleared out. And then the 5-day journey, he wouldn't need to. I get you. Yeah. Okay. So he moved to Australia when he was 19, and he's originally from Wales, but got tired of the life, so he hatched a plan to return himself to the UK. Realizing that a train ticket would be, I don't know why it says train ticket, because you can't catch a train from... This article literally says the train ticket would cost £700. Can I get a train from Melbourne to London, please? Yeah, no problem, boss. Not to mention like the oceans you have to go over, the countries you have to go over that are not necessarily the safest. I mean, yeah. Yeah, you know. Yeah, so no wonder it costs £700 for a train ticket, which is actually pretty much you could probably get a flight, not so much now because things are going up, but last year you could have got a flight for £700 or off peak at least. So especially one way, but anyway, so he hatched a plan. His monthly salary was just £40. So he hatched a plan to seal himself in a wooden crate and travel from Australia. To avoid paying his high price to get home, he decided instead to convince 2 men from Ireland to help stow him into a freight train. I don't know why they keep saying train. It's got to be plane. Like there is... Someone, I mean, yeah, I start to question the journalism of articles that talk about this train. But anyway, the two men nailed Brian.
Nailed him. Okay. Then put him in the box.
Yeah, then they put him into the crate, which he had outfitted with a pillow, a suitcase, and a book of Beatles songs.
Nice.
Fuck. Imagine how bored of that you would be after 5 days.
Imagine he didn't check what book it was and he got it. He's like, I fucking hate the Beatles. Like, that's the only thing he brought with him. That's kind of like, bring 2 books, man, just in case.
Well, why not just bring a book? Like, a book of songs seems.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it seems like you would read, like, I don't know, some interesting novel or something. Yeah. Not to mention, inside the crate would have to be dark, which kind of defeats the whole purpose. It was quite a horrific experience and took 5 days. In preparation, he took laxatives for 3 days beforehand to avoid any accidents. His Irish accomplices had labeled the small wooden crate as a computer and booked him onto a Qantas flight from Melbourne to London without a hitch. However, en route home, the crate was transferred to a Pan Am flight because the original plane was full. Instead of London, Brian was headed for LA and found himself stored in a freight shed where, after 5 days, he was too weak to hammer himself out. Luckily for Brian, a man looked through a hole in a wood knot in the chest where they caught each other eye to eye. He jumped back a mile and said, "There's a body in there." He spent 5 days recovering in hospital and was questioned by the FBI. Not too long after, he was released and allowed to fly on a passenger jet back to the UK without any legal action taken against him by then acting Minister for Immigration. When he arrived back in the UK, he wrote to the 2 men who had aided his plan, but they never responded. He doesn't remember where they're from or what their surnames were, but still is desperate to thank them. He's 99% sure that they were called Paul and John. Maybe it's...
Guess who it was?
I mean, if only the Beatles were Irish, then...
You know, that's probably most people have Irish heritage somewhere in the history there. So, but yeah, Jesus. I mean, look, it was the 60s. I'm sure people were smoking stuff and things, but yeah, posting yourself's never, it sounds like a great idea. There's idiots on YouTube pretend to do it all the time, but ending up in the wrong country. And as you say, like, you drive yourself mad reading a book of the same songs over and over again.
Reading a book of songs once would be boring as.
Yeah. I mean,
like, you get to, like, Let It Be and you're like, oh, I love this one. And you read, Let It Be. Let It Be.
He's got no musical like abilities whatsoever, and he's like, nah.
No. Or is they got a he's in the freight thing and he's just, they hear like just no, and they're like, what's going on in this plane?
Oh, it's a computer. It's making noises. It's fine.
The computer's screaming out, "Hey Jude."
But yeah, I mean, like 5 days. It sounds like it was a rough time. Why does he want to thank the people who helped him go through probably the most traumatic thing he went through in his life?
I don't know. When you meet John and Paul, he's 99% sure who are Irish.
Yeah.
What if he's the 1% wrong?
This sounds like an acid story. Like, he was like, well, took some acid and then I put myself in a box. John and Paul helped me. Yeah. It was fine. It was cool.
I read a Beatles songbook for 5 days straight.
Yeah. And also,
what about when he gets to be back in the USSR and then someone walks past?
Yeah, that could be dangerous around that time for sure.
Why is someone singing about how lucky you are to be back in the USSR in our
Oh man. Yeah, it's got to be one of those things though where like everything just went fucking wrong. Like, how did a box that was supposed to go to London go to LA? That makes no sense. Like that was getting lost in post if there wasn't a guy in there. Like it was definitely someone was like, fuck it, send the computer to LA, and it was never being seen again. So it just seems super weird. It went to LA. I know they didn't have the same number of flights they have now, but surely you would wait till the next one to the destination.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just,
or like another European city, not on the other side of the world still.
Or imagine when you're like, you're 5 days after you've been tripping on your laxatives and whatever, and then you get to I am the walrus. And you're like, what is this? Am I a walrus? And you're looking over at whatever else is in your crate and being like, are they the Eggmen?
just pondering, what does goo goo gachoo actually mean? It's like, what is the in-depth philosophy behind this song?
What did John and Paul mean?
Yeah, and which John and Paul?
Yeah. Why did those two Irish guys keep talking about eggs? Were they the Eggmen? And why am I am he as you are me, and we are all together?
Yeah, especially when we're not, because I'm the only one in this fucking box.
And then wait till he gets to see how they fly. I'm crying.
I just wonder how he's gonna handle Octopus's garden.
Yeah,
you know, it's got to put your mind in a weird place when you're in a box, or you know, it's weird choice of in-flight entertainment for him there, to be honest.
Yeah, especially on the third day.
Yeah.
Like even on the third day, like yesterday, which isn't as trippy as the others, there's got to just like mess with your mind of what does this mean?
I mean, it's just getting worse and worse. This song knows what's happening. Oh my God. Yesterday, my troubles were far away. Oh man, these things people do. Like, I mean, honestly, I don't think it says it in the article, but I think they should say how much it costs to ship this person to London compared to the flight for the train ticket that he was going to get. I'm guessing it wouldn't have been that much. Considering
I'm looking it up, trying to. Doesn't seem to talk about, but it does. There is an article about a man who nearly died who copied it. Reg Spires. Oh wait, no. Okay, so someone actually did it and was successful.
Oh, okay.
And so this guy was actually copying someone else.
Okay, cool.
But it doesn't say. Yeah. So he read about this guy, Spires, who did it in a wooden crate and made it. Oh my God. They have the diagram of it. And it was only 38 inches by 30 inches. So 38 inches long, 30 inches high. So he had to sit in a narrow thing the whole time.
Jesus. That's yeah, that's that's going to get uncomfortable after like 5 minutes. You got how many?
You're not
days
even
to go?
halfway through the opening song before you start to feel back pain.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. That just sounds like a torturous thing to go through.
He even said I could fit in there okay as long as I sat down with my knees pressed up against my chest. My back was to the suitcase, which he also had in there. It was quite large, which obviously reduced my movements inside even more. I couldn't stretch my legs and I couldn't even turn around. I was more or less stuck in that position, which at first was quite comfy, but later proved not so sensible.
No shit.
He did pack 2 pillows though.
Fair play. Yeah,
and 2 bottles, one for water and one for urine.
I mean, you should probably, don't mix those 2 up.
Sorry, it's the first leg he flew from Melbourne to Sydney, which went smoothly. But they left him on the tarmac, but he was dumped upside down.
Oh, no. Oh, jeez.
He says it becomes painful very quickly, throbbing in your neck and the top of your head.
Yeah. It would.
Oh, my God. You complain about Wizz Air for 7 hours. Robson spent 22 punishing hours upside down in his crate.
I feel for this man. Jesus, 22 hours upside down. No, that's horrible.
Yeah, God. But the 5th time you read yesterday, it's going to be brutal.
I mean, I don't know how you survive that much time upside down in a tiny space crate kind of thing. Like your head must be freaking out. And I'm sure it's quite painful. So that's, ouch.
He was traveling in a hold that wasn't heated. So the journey became increasingly serious. He had difficulty breathing. He started to get pain in his elbows and knees. His body was aching and swelling. His ankles were swelling really badly. He slipped in and out of consciousness, tormented by a nightmare in which he was thrown out of the aircraft mid-flight.
Yeah, that's not good. It's not good. I just like to also remind this person, he volunteered for this. He was like, this is a great idea. He should have brought some way with him to try and escape, though. Like,
well, he did. He had the stuff in there, and he also had a torch to get attention, but he dropped it when he got there, and there was no way that he could pick it up.
Dude, it's not good. It's not good. Yeah, that sucks, man. Yeah, I don't know. That just sounds like the most horrific thing. That's probably the worst flight anyone's had, I think.
I don't know about the worst, but probably up there.
I mean, look, I have been on Ryanair, so possibly just an average customer on Ryanair has it worse. But aside from that, like on a real airline,
it's a new great experience with Ryanair. Imagine how pissed you'd be if you were stuck on the tarmac waiting for 7 hours of a delay with this.
Yeah, that would be pretty fucking bad. That would be pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing that they've never said how much the tickets were. I've tried to skim multiple articles quickly and cannot see.
I mean, look, some things are worth paying for, and I think not being upside down is one of them. On a long trip like that, I think it's worth whatever the price is.
Yeah, even if it's like 20 months salary, I guess.
I mean, in that case, what you do is you stay where the fuck you are. You're like, it's fine. Unless I can sneak onto a plane or something in a genuine like seat, I'm just going to stay where I am.
Yeah.
Or
I'll never complain about Wizz Air again.
I will. Fuck you, Wizz Air.
You know what? I hate when I'm in suites and my coffee is not at the exact temperature I ordered it at. You know, I need 37 degrees and they give it to me at 36. Like, how am I supposed to live?
I don't know. I really. Yeah, these standards need to be raised. That's all we're saying. You know, bring on the suggestion. Like, we've sent them suggestions enough. At this point, they should just take on what we're saying and do it.
Yeah, I think it's important for companies to listen to their customers, not like this company, which is complaining about their customers. And so a sex doll firm has hit out a dishonest complaint that £9,500 model had a hairy bum.
Okay.
So basically, a sex doll company has slammed by a dishonest customer who said their life-sized model of a porn star with an extra hairy bum was too heavy despite him ordering it at human weight. So he ordered a human-weighted, hairy-bummed porn star.
So, all right. So there's a lot of levels here to go through already. So this was a full, like a 1-to-1 size replica doll, sex doll, and weight, human size and weight, sex doll with a hairy bum.
Yeah.
All right. We're up to speed.
Okay. But Inferno Official, a worldwide industry leader in the manufacture and supply of lifelike dolls and toys, has hit back at sometimes wacky reasons people conjure up to get their money back for bespoke items. The company, which also makes dolls to look like influencers and OnlyFans stars, say that some customers are exploiting a PayPal loophole to get refunds while keeping the goods, leaving them £100,000 worse off last month alone. Now, this is a pretty amazing scam. If these people were scamming, but, you know, I believe all customers.
I don't.
If the hairy bum...
There was one hair more than I expected on that hairy bum.
Revealing a list of most bizarre complaints, the company said the one customer moaned that his doll didn't look enough like his ex-girlfriend, despite sending photos of the product beforehand. One red-faced husband was even forced to send his model back after it was discovered by his disgruntled wife.
Oh, who did it look like? His ex or someone else? Yeah.
That'd be pretty wild to have like a threesome with the sex doll and the actual person.
Yeah, I feel like there's not many people going to be down with it. Yeah, I want to totally let you have sex with a doll that looks like me. Yeah. I mean, I would be down for it. I'd be like, yeah, get all the Dave sex dolls you want.
I want 3 of myself so that I have like
a... We're a group package, girls. It's just me 3 times.
with different degrees of hairy bums. Here we have clean, we have a light razor's edge, and then we have full hair.
Like, I'm just if you want like a muscly Dave with the 6-pack and everything, we got that. If you got the real life Dave, we got that. If you want like in between, that's there. It's a good idea. I mean, people should diversify their relationships.
Yeah, well, it says due to the shipping costs rising from £2,000 a container from China to £20,000, the company will not pay for the return of the lifelike dolls as they've been personalized.
Okay. So that means that's why people are getting refunds, because they won't take returns.
Yeah, but then people come up with crazy. So the easy scam is you order a personalized sex doll with some questionable attributes and then complain about it and then say that it doesn't live up to what you want and then they won't take it back. Then you get it and you get a refund. So I feel like we should both scam them and then the next podcast we both turn up with
just our sex doll versions. What's just for research purposes, what's the name of this company?
For research purposes.
Yeah.
And for where do I send my refund? So he said one man recently bought a doll of a porn star, Thor Johnson, with extra hair on his back and bum. Then decided the goods were too heavy after a couple of days. Now I need to look up Thor Johnson. Which is a man, I guess. So it was
sounds like it.
Yeah. He said, we had a guy this week who ordered one of our most popular dolls, but wanted it extra hairy. He wanted extra hair on the back, legs, bum, you name it. He wanted hair on it. He loved the photos of what we created for him. Then 2 days after receiving his personalized doll, he complained it was too heavy. He knew they are the weight of a human. However, he complains to PayPal and they rule he deserves a refund. Now, that's 9,500 pounds doll, which is way too hairy for our normal customers. So what is the point of us paying 3,100 pounds for shipping to get it back just to bin it? So it's quite the unique scam here.
Yeah. It sounds like there's an opening for a secondhand market. You can just like buy them for 10 grand, get your money back, sell them for 5. You're 5 grand up, profits. You know.
Until you then get scammed by
All right, then we'll just do rentals.
But then he's talking about like he's in touch with other companies in the industry and asking to share names of customers who've done this. So then they're going to have their own blacklist. So imagine being on.
Yeah, can't do it then.
Yeah. My name's Dave. I'm on a sex doll customized blacklist.
She's like, just trying to change my identity. Why do you want to change your name? Well, have you ever been on a blacklist? Because I have.
I'm no longer allowed to buy customized sex dolls and I need an extra hairy.
Oh man, that is quite the scenario.
Yeah. Now this is a great story. The headline alone. Teen in world's most inbred family doesn't know which brother got sister pregnant.
Oh, that is hilarious.
We've all been there.
I mean, you know, it's one of those, you know, better not to know, really.
Yeah, sometimes it's a bit of a roulette, Wild West. So Sick Tim Colt allegedly started a perverted incest farm near the Australian outback by orchestrating the rape of family members by siblings. There are 38 members over 4 generations of thought to have been engaging in sexual activity with at least one relative in a disgusting bush camp of tents and shacks. So they literally started a farm for this.
Yeah, you see, it sounds much more sinister in when you hear more details.
Yeah.
Like, this was a plan all along.
Especially when like you could have just spent 10,000 pounds on a realistic sex doll.
Yeah, you could get one to look like your sister if you want. So apparently, according to this company, whatever they're called.
Yeah, imagine getting one made of your family member.
Surprise, Granny, look what I got. Looks just like you.
Merry Christmas. Oh, I know grandfather just died, but I wanted you to have something to remember him by. And then with an extra hairy 10-inch penis. Thanks, grandson. That's what I would have always wanted.
Now make sure to get your money back.
We need 11, not 10. You know, grandfather was packing.
Oh, man.
So a Dublin Airbnb has gone viral.
Nice.
For listing a private room, which is a tent on a concrete slab.
Yeah.
For only $75 a night.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pop-up tent on a backyard concrete slab.
Yeah, but it was private.
For two guests and offered one bed and a bath.
Yeah, I mean, got to use your available resources, and that's a resource. And a tent, put it up there, make some extra money. Why not?
59 euros. It was on at discount from 69, the regular price.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. If you've got something priced at 69, you keep it because that's funny.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's a sad state of affairs of the Dublin and entire Ireland property market that some people were like, hey, that's not bad. I might fucking move in. Pay it off for the month.
Well, do you have a backyard? I reckon you got
Yeah. I mean, I got grass out there. I could put it on grass. It'd be fucking luxurious compared to that thing. Probably charge 70, 75.
You can even up it and start your own brothel with a nice hairy bum dumb.
You know what? That's the greatest business idea we've ever come up with. And we've had a few over the years. So that's a good one.
It's up there with Wizz Air. He would rival Wizz Air in terms of business plans.
It is. Oh, man. But yeah, I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. Somebody was bound to do that. I also saw another one where a guy went to rent, or he rented a single room in a place somewhere in Ireland, and he opened the door, and the room was literally the width of the door, and it was just like the only thing in the room was like a single bed, because that's all that could fit in there. It's just like wedged in to this little tiny space. It's like, there you go. And that was like 60 quid a night as well. So wow. Yeah, I mean, space is running at a premium right now. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I did stay in a hotel, and it was like a proper hotel in London that was, it was like £100 a night, but London is expensive as hell. But anyway, my feet were literally on the wall, like head this thing and then feet on that wall. And then the toilet was like up a stair and was basically the size of an airplane toilet.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's hotels, but are really just like shitholes. It's the key. Yeah, you've all stayed in places like that, but that one took the biscuit. But I mean, if you found out your Airbnb was a tent, I mean, I presume these people, nobody booked it without knowing it's a tent. But
yeah, I mean, it's good value, you know.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but you know, technically you have all the privacy you need. Technically.
Yeah, I guess. Well, finally, how many fleshlights should you have in a Tinder profile picture?
How many fleshlights should you have?
As in the fake vaginas.
I would keep it under 3.
Under 3? Yeah. I mean, you got to show off though.
I mean, you don't want to be too flashy because people just come after you for your money. So,
well, this guy obviously didn't listen because he actually has 3. So, guy's going viral. He's a 38-year-old man took a picture of himself in his bathroom mirror. His bio reads, never married, single, no kids, 6'3", and a screenshot of the man's Tinder profile, which has his face blurred out, was shared on Reddit. Users have had a field day after spotting the sex toys, and there are 3 different fleshlights that one can see in his profile picture. And then one Reddit user says maybe they're strategically placed so the ladies know he knows how to perform.
So ladies know you got competition. Better be serving up that good stuff. So,
yeah. I mean, if you don't have that, you got to at least have a few hairy bummed sex dolls.
See, that's the real player move. That's just. Here's my $10,000 sex doll. You got a lot to live up to. So it has an extra hairy everything. So, yeah, I would keep them out of your profile pictures to be sure.
Yeah, I mean, you send it on the first pic when they ask for more pictures, but and then go, oops, how did that get there?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, look, it's the same as that woman who went on the news on the BBC and she had a big dildo on her shelf behind her.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like you can accidentally put a dildo there. Having 3 fleshlights in your bathroom to begin with is probably a problem that needs to be addressed.
I mean, you might have an issue at that point. Yeah. It's like never married, no kids. Yeah, I wonder fucking why. You're jizzing into your fleshlight all day long. So that's why you need 3 of them. So
sometimes you need variety. You need different styles. So
I suppose, yeah, there's probably like hundreds of them. I don't know. But
sometimes you need one with a hairy bum. Sometimes you just need
Yeah, I mean, it's a cheaper option than going with the $10,000 life-size sex doll. So,
yeah, but I mean, you don't get a refund so much. So,
yeah, probably not. So it's always an issue. But maybe they can work on that and improve their refund structure, and get it so that PayPal will just refund everything, because that's pretty much how they work anyway. If you complain to PayPal, they'll pretty much give you your money back.
Yeah, so, unless you complain too much, and then they will ban your account.
Just get a new account. It's all good.
Yeah.
Again, another reason to change your name and get some way of buying sex dolls. Yeah. Anyway, it's all good.
Yeah, I feel like we've solved world peace here. So.
Yeah, we definitely have come across some serious issues on this one. I think we've recommended some good solutions to the Wizz Air folks. Again, they should take us up on all of our suggestions. Yeah, it's always interesting what goes on in the world,
Yeah,
these people out there, and thankfully, most of the stories don't involve us directly. So,
officially,
yeah, exactly.
At least we can pretend.
Yeah, just put it out there that they're not us. People will believe it. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, have I ordered a sex doll with a hairy bum? Yes. Did I realize that I could have complained and got my money back? No.
Do you now? And are you going to send me the link for the same company later? Yes.
Are you going to pretend that you need the link when you already have it and own 5? Yes.
Listen. Let's just keep that on the down low and keep everybody happy.
I wonder if you can take your hairy sex doll into like a Brazilian wax place and get it styled. I would like a landing strip on my sex doll's bum, please.
While we're here, could you fix her nails up a little bit? Give her a little spruce up. I don't know. There's so many things that would be hilarious to do that in a scenario. I don't know. But anyway, bring your sex doll into the beauty parlor for some treatments.
Bring your sex doll to work day.
Well, I work from home, so that's every day for me. So
in the meetings, you have it on the desk. Which fleshlight am I going to show off today?
Yeah, I feel like that might be acceptable in the workplace, depending on the workplace, of course.
If you work at Fleshlights R Us, it might be a requirement.
I do. I work in the quality control department.
Taste test department.
Basically, just fuck every fleshlight before it goes out. So enjoy your new fleshlights.
If you've ever had one that's a little bit extra squishy, that was me. And you're welcome.
Oh yeah, did that especially for you
on a Wizz Air flight to calm everyone down.
That'd be the thing, like someone bringing a fleshlight onto a flight. It would happen on Wizz Air. It wouldn't happen anywhere else. So,
would they notice in security if you had a fleshlight down your pants? And if you do, and then the security pulls you aside, you can say, well, hey, I read an article that tampons don't get picked up, so how dare you discriminate against my fleshlight? Yeah. It's basically the same thing.
Exactly. Stop looking in my fleshlight vagina. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like we've hit new highs on the podcast so far today. We've hit a new level altogether, so it's all good.
This is what podcasts meant to be.
Yeah, this was the whole idea from the beginning. It's like someday a podcast like this would come along.
Discuss our fleshlight and sex toy.
Discuss how to get refunds for $10,000 sex toys.
This is the only podcast that gives you exclusive insights into how to get 10,000-pound fleshlights and sex dolls.
Yeah, exactly. So based on that, don't forget to sponsor the podcasts.
You don't get this from Joe Rogan. You listen to Joe Rogan and you don't even get a single sex doll insight.
Yeah, that's true. I think you don't.
That's because Joe Rogan pays for sex dolls. So I'm just going to put the rumor out there. That's why we're a better podcast.
Allegedly.
No, allegedly. I did not allege it. There's no allegedly in that.
All right. Okay. Well,
as fans of a free sex doll, this is the podcast for you.
Yeah, let's go with that. That's the tagline we really want.
It's always been my dream to be a free sex doll. I've always wanted to see my name up in lights, up against the words "hairy bummed sex doll."
And now that dream is coming true.
I want it on my tombstone. He lived. He helped people get free hairy bummed sex dolls. And that's what he would be remembered for.
What a great servant to humanity.
He had 4 fleshlights in his Tinder profile.
4. Wow, that's impressive.
Even just owning 4 fleshlights is a big accomplishment.
It is. I mean, the variety you have there, the choice would just melt your mind in the first place. So,
yeah, where to start, what to do, use.
Yeah. Whether to have a fleshlight orgy or just like taking one at a time.
I start on this one, and then once I get ready, I get into this one, and then I finish in this one.
That's how you keep them fresh, So
this one tastes better than the other.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, you know, this has been enlightening. And as I say, I got a lot of internet searching to do now for the rest of the day. So it's been educational.
Some ordering and yeah.
All right, man. Well, I think that's a good enough place to leave it for this week then. But it's been cool, as it always has been.
Yes. You're a has-been.
All right, sweet. Well, cool. Same time next week.
Yep. Sounds good.
Same place and everything and all that sort of shit.
No, I'll do it cool. Somewhere else.
All right. Sweet.
Do it in a crate with a songbook.
just you and me both upside down somewhere. Like, hey, this is kind of weird. But
don't worry, John Paul nailed us well.
I want to send him a letter of thank you for putting me through the most torturous thing of my life.